Hi.
Hi, everyone. Sorry about the delay. We had a couple of technical difficulties, but we are here.
You're
Tommy,
live.
take it away.
Welcome to another episode of Manifest, the Manifest live stream actual play content. Episode 9 of this campaign. With me again are Dan Barron, Addie Gia, and Seth Lilly playing Roland, Pax, and did I say Seth Lilly? Damn it!
No, you just did it in a weird order. That's all.
Yeah, Roland, Kinsey, and Pax, respectively. Did I get it wrong?
That would make me Pax.
Well, I thought I had it right the first time. Anywho, they are reprising their roles as usual. Before we jump into a recap of the story so far, I know we have at least one announcement, which is if you haven't checked out our Kickstarter page, go check it out because we've shared the world map of Manifest, the official map of Manifest, on our Kickstarter with our latest update. It is amazing. Mad props to the ever talented Jared Blando. He has done an amazing job. You can find him at The Red Epic, I believe it is, on Twitter, where I think he posted the map there as well. So you could go there and check it out if you'd like. It's super cool. And also, you might notice that the location of tonight's episode and the past couple episodes is on the map. See if you can spot where Lily Ridge is in the garden. Addie, do we have any other announcements? Oh, she muted herself.
Yes, I did mute myself because I was trying to untangle my microphone. But instead, I am just going to leave it the way it is. So we are, like we mentioned last week, we are going to activate our affiliate status on Twitch the first week in December. So while you follow us now, you can subscribe in December. We're really excited about this. It lets us have cool emojis and do music and replays and all this crazy good stuff, and it lets you guys support the show if you love it, or if you don't have anything else to support but have Amazon Prime. That is one of the announcements. Another announcement is on Friday, I will be doing another episode of GM Styles. I've already gotten a bunch of questions, more questions than I could probably answer in one short hour. But if you have questions about what's going on at your table, send them in. I will get to them. Maybe not this week, maybe next week, or I guess the next week. Anyway, it's every other week, so don't miss out this week because there won't be one next week. And as always, follow and sign up for notifications for when we go live so that you can make sure that you watch us. That's pretty much it. And you can follow us on at Manifest RPG on Twitter. You can follow me at Addie Gia, and I'm the only one with really active social media. So there you go. You can follow those things. One other thing, and I swear this is the last announcement. This is the last week that you will be able to order add-ons from the Kickstarter on BackerKit. So if you want the dice or the super duper cool waypoint pins, and you want to make sure you get them on time and with the first wave, this is the last week to do that. You can go to backerkit.com/manifesttherepg to grab those now. That's it. That's all I got. It's a lot, but yeah.
All right, so a quick recap of the story so far. Kinsey, Pax, and Roland have found themselves working for the Dead Man's Gang, a murderous gang that they want no part of. So for the past 9 episodes, they've been slowly plotting and planning a way to make the Dead Man's Gang tear itself up from the inside, or at least implode in a way that allows the 3 of them to get away without having to just look over their shoulders for the rest of their lives for one of these murderous yahoos to come after them seeking revenge. So, to that end, they are on mission right now for the Dead Man's Gang to acquire some weapons for an ambush that the gang is planning on a factory town ambassador. And they are in the town of Lily Ridge. On the way to Lily Ridge, they murdered one of the members of the Dead Man's Gang. He was, hurt real bad leading up to the murder, but they finished him off and played it off as if it was the man succumbing to his wounds. Miguel Reyes of the Dead Man's Gang, deceased. And so they arrived in Lily Ridge with Cho Saxton, another member of the Dead Man's Gang, after kind of discarding Miguel Reyes' body in a forest on the road nearby, or off the road nearby. Then Cho reached out to Rufus Nash, the leader of the Dead Man's Gang, asked for reinforcements, and estimated that those reinforcements would show up in about 2 days' time. It's been about you guys basically have a day and a half until that deadline hits. So during the time they've had so far in Lily Ridge, they scoured the town, got a look at their target. Their target is the estate of Akeo Gati, who is a member of the criminal syndicate known as the Family. Apparently an important member of the Gati family. Akeo lives on a very fortified, large estate that seems to be extremely heavily guarded, as if she's expecting a fight. The reason they're targeting Akeo is because Akeo stole the weapons that Rufus Nash was going to buy from a different man. So those weapons, as far as this crew of drifters knows, are located in some kind of hidden room or facility or pit underneath the Gati estate grounds. They found this out because Cho Saxton revealed herself to be illuminated. She has special psychic powers, and she used them to get a sense of where the weapons were, and could tell that it was not in or directly underneath the estate buildings. Instead, it is beneath the grounds. So they convinced Cho that she shouldn't show her face because she's very wanted. And the three of them are going to be her boots and eyes on the ground as they continue to gather information to prepare for the arrival of the reinforcements of the Dead Man's Gang so that they can make an assault of some kind, stealth or otherwise, on the Gati estate. At least that's what Cho thinks. Who knows what these three guys are actually going to get up to? Only way to find out is to play. So let's jump on in. I believe Kinsey went to go get food for Cho, which is easy enough. There's a kitchen here at the saloon, so they whip up. It's not anything super fancy, but you're able to whip up like a quick something to bring up to Cho's room. And Pax and Roland, the two of you, had just exited Cho's room, Roland revealing to Pax that the Gati family estate is far too well guarded for someone who isn't expecting a fight. So what's everyone doing? What you get up to? You guys just going to nap for a day and a half?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I lay down for about 3 hours. No, Kinsey's definitely going to go get that food, so if you two are having a conversation, I'll join you later.
I mean, we left mid conversation with Cho and with Pax and Roland.
I can sort of wait here in silence, but generally this would be the point where you would say something, Pax.
Right. Well, I guess I just don't feel like I have enough information. You saying that they're expecting a fight, Mike. I'm wondering, who is it they were planning on fighting? Was it us? Are they expecting other trouble? That just makes me more nervous than usual.
Sure. Yeah. No, that information wasn't meant to be comforting.
Okay.
I mean, Salvador Alston was a shady underworld arms dealer, and they murdered and robbed him. So, who knows what connections he might have had when they decided to kill him? So, I mean, maybe they're expecting reprisal from there. Maybe they knew he was involved with the Dead Man's Gang, and they're prepared for whatever Rufus sends their way. I think the important thing is that Akeo Gati recently renovated a set of buildings and a street damaged by a storm, and so there's probably tunnel entrances there, because that's what I would do if I was the benevolent dictator benefactor of a small town.
What?
Yeah, sorry. I put a few things together while I was talking to Cho. The sheriff told me there was some damage to some buildings and a thoroughfare in a recent storm, and Miss Gati had everything repaired, paid for the whole thing. Now, if I... Yes.
Right.
Now, if I was a wealthy mafioso, I might... I would... No, I might... It's not my... I would put tunnel entrances there.
Yeah, that seems like it makes sense. So did you want to go there? You want me to go there?
Well, I mean, I think there's a few different ways we could go about it. It's either you or me going there. Maybe even both of us.
Okay. I mean, sure. We could.
I just think it's something worth investigating, you know?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how happy she would be if we got caught in her secret tunnels that are certainly secret for a reason, or how we could talk our way out of that. But that's on you at that point.
I mean, the alternative is we could just go knock on our front gate.
Yeah, that's also true. Do you think that would work?
I'm not sure it wouldn't work.
That's not a yes.
Well, in a roundabout way.
It's not real. It's not. That's not a yes.
No, I genuinely, it might. I've been doing this a while, and never at such a high degree of difficulty or stakes. But, it might work. But there is certainly an opportunity to get more information before we decide whether that's what we're going to do.
Sure. Yeah. We don't need to decide right now.
No, certainly not.
We can wait until Kinsey.
Well, if you're standing on the balcony, not like balcony, but like yeah, I guess the interior balcony, having this conversation where like the rooms are, you see Kinsey at the like bar down below. You're given a dish of like kind of like corn and maybe some like potatoes, like some mashed potatoes and like just like a couple like vegetable type things, and they hand that to you, and you're able to bring that up the stairs and rejoin Pax and Roland.
Not sure exactly what kind of roast meat this is, but this corn does look delicious.
Those are vegetables.
Oh! Interesting. Some kind of squash, perhaps. That's very strange. Anyway, I suppose I'll just pop in and give this to her. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Knock. Not sure I didn't said that at the same time, but...
Come on in.
Just thought you might, you mentioned you were hungry. I thought I might bring you some food.
I distinctly remember telling you to go get me food. Thank you.
Well, I'm very good at following instructions, so...
Good.
Anything else I can get you? I know you'll be trapped up here for... Well, not trapped up here, but you will be confined to your quarters, per se, for perhaps a coming bit of time. Anything else I could grab for you?
Goodbye now, Kinsey.
All right, goodbye now. Not sure she likes me very much, I say as I close the door.
I'm certain she doesn't.
No. So, shall we adjourn to somewhere more private? Or
Let's leave here now.
I think that's a good idea. I would like to, yes.
Yeah, where do you guys go?
I'll bring Kinsey up to speed on the conversation me and Pax have had so far.
Good walk and talk.
Yeah, it's the most important part of any grift, a good walk and talk.
Are the streets more full now?
Yeah. I mean, it's well into the afternoon at this point. So yeah, there's it's not like a super crowded, bustling thoroughfare, but like, yeah, the streets, there are people milling about, more people wandering through town. You see them like, wagons coming in with deliveries, stuff like that. You even hear like the engines of what might be like a nomad pack nearby town, probably making some deliveries somewhere nearby. It's hard to say exactly how far they are because it could be a very large nomad pack, a very far away in town, or a smaller nomad pack closer to where you are. But you can hear like the rumblings of like engines in the distance.
Okay. I would, as we walk and talk, like to grab a few people's LRC tags.
All right. You can roll. Roll skullduggery.
Okay.
How many are you trying to grab?
6.
The golden number.
Take a -5.
Oh.
What do you got?
I'm trying to do math. It's an 8, right? An 8 is the number. If it's 13 usually.
Yes.
All right. Any bonuses? Okay. Oh, I have sticky fingers. Great.
That gives them a -2.
Oh, to notice.
Yep.
No, you want that because normal people are terrible at noticing anything. So if you give them penalties, they don't notice anything.
Right. Okay. Well, that's 3 hits, 8 high.
All right, that's 3 net successes. So yeah, you are able to brushing through the crowd as in the time it takes Roland to catch Kinsey up to speed. You kind of like branch off from the two of them a little bit, just kind of like walking over to a shop window that some people are looking at and looking at something too, and then bumping into them, and then crossing the street for a second and helping someone like pick up their hat, and you just kind of make your way through the crowd, like zigzag a little bit, and then you come back and you've got 6 LRC tags in your hand, little personal identification devices.
Cool. So I'll just like pop up like in between the two of them and be like, "Here, Roland, I got you these."
Oh, thanks. That's fantastic. Yeah, and so that's sort of, what's going on, Kinsey. You're up to speed now. Sorry, Ken.
Ken, yeah.
It's not easy to remember, I know. Sometimes I slip up. So what do we do? I mean, I feel like being caught in the tunnels would put us instantly on the wrong foot if we are trying to ally with... well, not ally, but do something friendly with Miss Gatty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we gotta, go into the tunnels,
Sure.
per se. But we could, scope them out, or, talk to whoever owns the place, or, look at them from afar.
want to
Uh,
look at tunnels from afar?
I mean,
Would
if we
that
ain't
just be,
going
like,
in,
grass or the ground?
we could do like a stakeout, or I'm just saying a visual reconnaissance. All right.
Okay.
Let's not take up too much time just with reconnaissance there. We are on a time limit.
No, I sort of figured this was like an hour or two thing.
Sure. Well, I think Pax knows the way, right?
Yeah, I mean, you get judging by what the sheriff said, you're able to find the thoroughfare that the apartment buildings were on. They're on the thoroughfare, like kind of heading a little south in town. And you see there's a couple buildings that look just a little fresher and a little more, they're not like brand spanking new. This storm probably happened, maybe like 5 to 10 years ago, but it's, they look fresher and a little more updated than the buildings next to them. So you remember he said there was a shop nearby, and then that got like kind of hurt, and then like an apartment building that got like completely demolished. And you see kind of like the two of them, they have like similar architecture like in their rebuilding. So you're like that's probably them.
Great.
The apartment building is 2 stories tall, and pretty wide built. And then the shop is a little more narrow and just like 1 story tall. It's a flower shop.
Does the apartment building have like a for rent or a vacancy sign?
No, that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't vacancies or for rents. It just means there's not a sign hanging out on the outside.
And anybody
Sure.
like walking around as though they're casually, not guarding the place?
You can go ahead and roll observe if you like, or
Sure.
you can roll discipline to try and like specifically read the people around you. Observe would be spotting someone who's like trying not to be noticed, like visually, and then discipline would be someone trying not to be noticed socially.
I think I'll be observing. It's one hit with a high of 3.
So yeah, walking by casually through the thoroughfare, you look across the way, wagons and people crossing your line of vision. You don't see anyone seeming to stand guard around either of the buildings.
Looks all clear here.
Thank you for your expert opinion, Ken. Yeah, I suppose they did sort of do like a lot more renovation on the apartment. So like we could get a look around inside there. Might not be a bad idea. Of course, there's always something hinky in a flower shop.
Well, I don't know that all 3 of us need to go into one of the locations. Perhaps we should, stay nearby, but just do a little reconnaissance work at the same time.
Pax is already like halfway across the street, planning on like just jumping through the first like empty window. She's like, "Oh, yeah, I could stay outside. I could stay outside. That's fine."
I suppose you could take that building, and Roland and I could take the other building.
Okay, yeah. Meet back here in a few.
Sounds good. Nice trip to the flower shop wouldn't go amiss.
Yeah, sure. Let's go get some flowers, Ken.
So you walk into the flower shop. It's like I said, it's pretty narrow. So you walk in. There's all sorts of like native garden, like decorative flowers. A few hanging. The smell is great in there. and it's you can hear like the misters kind of like keeping all the flowers going. There's plenty of natural light, lots of like large windows in the front, and as you walk through the door, the bell rings, and you hear like through the foliage, somebody go, "Howdy!"
Hey there. Sorry, it's a bit dense in here. I just gone through back that way.
Some like kind of like hanging weed like vines part, and a man in his like maybe late 20s, pretty young, parts, and he looks at you. He's got like blonde hair kind of pulled back into like a very short ponytail, a little like wispy, like scruffy, like beard, and he goes, yeah, no, right through here. I mean, you're free to walk around and enjoy. If you need pricing on anything or recommendations, if you're buying a gift, I'm your man. Laverne's the name.
James, nice to meet you.
Ken Charlotte, very pleased to meet you.
Y'all ain't from around here, are you?
No, well, I've been through here about 12 years ago now, and I remembered this place from back then because the architecture is just so beautiful, and it looks a little different. So, and I also had reason to get some flowers, so I figured I'd come in and see what was up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, feel free. Look, we got a special going on that side. All the flowers on that wall. They are a spur cheaper for the week. But yeah, as far as the building, yeah, we got renovations about I'd say 6-7 years ago it was. That was back when my pops owned the shop. So I don't remember too much about that. I was too busy getting into trouble. But yeah, it was there was a hell of a storm rolled through town and just tore front of the building off, tore the roof off. Not as bad as what happened to the apartment buildings next door. They were completely leveled. Thank God, no one died. A lot of people were injured, but we're not too we're not too strangers to storms or nothing. So everyone would have had battened down. We could tell it was going to be a doozy.
Well, I'm real glad to see the place is still standing. I suppose flower business must be pretty good. You could handle roof coming off and take it in stride.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do a decent job. We give back a lot to the community, so that does help us quite a bit. But that ain't actually how we paid for the renovations. No, that was from the Gatti, Ms. Gatti. She lives up on the hill there in the very nice building. You might actually. She was here probably last time you were around. At least her family was. But yeah, she stepped up. We here in Lily Ridge, we take care of everyone around. So she stepped up. She's got the money to spare. She fronted the renovations. Really did a solid by my family as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's that Laverne. That's a crazy coincidence. I'm back in town. I got a business proposal. I'm going to be meeting with Miss Gatti later on this week, and I stopped in here to get flowers, because sort of show good faith and get a gift. If you know her, maybe you could give me a recommendation.
I don't know her myself. I seen her once when I was a kid. She was walking through the thoroughfare, but no, I don't. I'm not familiar with them. I don't. Just a flower shop keep. But yeah, recommendations. I'd be happy to.
Can I tell, is his I don't know her act I assume it's probably legitimate, but is it also like I would like to distance myself from this person because I know of their affiliations?
Yeah, go ahead and roll manipulate because you have playing the player, so you can roll that to tell if someone's lying or obfuscating.
pretty good roll. Sorry, Laverne.
Let's see what Laverne rolls here.
My high is a 12.
His is a 1!
Okay, I've got 5 net hits on Laverne.
Jeez.
Sweet, you peer into this kid's soul. No, so throughout that conversation, you get a couple things. One is clearly Laverne is his parents are dead. He's taken up the shop. He seems like a really nice kid. Probably on the straight and narrow. You would don't think he has anything to do with like the family or criminal activities. However, he does seem aware of the fact that the Gatti family might be like family. There's wherever you go on Manifest, there's certain people who are you got people who are like in like the real world right now, like who will be like, oh yeah, the mafia, yeah, whatever. It's not like it is in like the movies, right? Like they're not everywhere, whatever. And then you got like people who like have had like brushes with the mafia, and like they're like, yeah, but they're like real deal, right? I think my neighbor's in the mob, right? And he's much more on that end of the spectrum, right? Where you glean that he and probably, judging by like his youth, probably most of this town is aware of not the specifics of Akeo Gatti's business, but the broad strokes. And it's like, well, she's good to us. We're not going to ask too many questions. We got a good thing going here. Let's just, no one's getting hurt.
If she needs a tunnel, we'll make a tunnel.
Right? Like you also get that by saying that you are affiliated or potentially affiliated with the Gatti business, has put him on the back foot. Not like, basically he doesn't want to disappoint you. Immediately he's like at your beck and call. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, I mean, hey, if you're even maybe gonna be friends with a KO, like, you seem legit, like, right? He like sizes you up. You look like a city slicker, right? And so like he immediately is like, oh, okay, I have maybe a mob boss in my shop now, and I need to make sure I take care of him really well.
It is a wonderful feeling. The few times it's happened. Show me what you got. I'm looking for, listen, I don't really know nothing about flowers except which ones is pretty and which ones ain't. So like, if you got some real good flowers, I'm interested to hear your expertise, kid.
Never you mind, sir. I will be your guide through here. My pops, he taught me everything there is to know about garden flowers in this region, so I'm more than capable. Let's come on over here. I have a few different suggestions I'm already thinking of. And he basically starts running through the gamut, trying to get a feel for what you're interested in.
Actually, real quick though, Ken, you were saying we should look for a restroom soon because you had to go though, right?
Oh, yes, sorry, I've been holding it the whole trip up here. Could you perhaps guide me the way to the facilities?
He stops for a second. He goes,
When he freezes in place.
It's you got to go out the back door. It's an outhouse attached to the back of the building. You can just go out the back door, take a left. Here, and he reaches in his like pockets and hands you his key ring. He goes, it's this key here.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, James. And I'm
I don't want you to be in pain. You might be here a while. It's like an infection.
Oh, all right.
So Laverne continues to give you very comprehensive, but not like overbearing rundowns of various flowers that might suit your business needs. Let's jump to Pax really quick. Pax, two of them went into the flower shop. What are you up to?
Sure. So it's like the middle of the afternoon, right? So I wouldn't expect necessarily everyone to be at home. Yeah. So
could be true, could be not be true. It's all what you suspect.
Sure. That's what I said. I suspect. So I just want to take like a lap around the building. If there's like what looks like an empty apartment on like maybe the ground floor, or a fire escape that's like relatively easily accessible that I could like maybe head up, I would
Yeah.
not mind skulking around a little bit, seeing what's up.
It's good.
Sure.
It's good. It's good.
Let's go ahead and instead of having you roll an observe test, let's see how well you sneak. Because if you're sneaking well enough, you got plenty of time to like take in every facet of the outside of this building. So go ahead and roll a sneak test for me.
Ooh, that is a painful roll. Woof. Let's see, but I do have some reliability. And Lightfoot is just for being heard, right?
Lightfoot is for being heard. It gives the people a negative to hear you moving around. And
Silent step.
Silent step is going to make it so that you can move at normal speed while doing this.
Great.
So, you're not going to be like slowly creeping and crawling. You're just kind of like smoothly moving your way from like shadow to shadow, cover to cover.
Okay. So I have 3 hits with a high of 12.
You are up against a 9.
Assuming I'm the aggressor, I have 2 hits.
You are the aggressor. Okay, so you move your way around.
You know what? I'm gonna spend what is it? 3 grit to twist the knife. 2 grit to twist the knife. 3.
I think it's 2.
Sure.
2. I'm gonna spend 2 grit to twist the knife. That way, I don't just automatically lose the grit that I earned.
Because you're at 12 grit. That's
Yeah.
smart. All right, so you start working your way around. Smoothly, you walk down like the thoroughfare once, and then you take a nice long stride to the other like one of the side streets, and you manage to just kind of like find a reason to like kind of turn down an alley between like these buildings and the buildings behind it. You do that, and then like you're able to kind of like sneak up and like peek down like the space between this building, like the apartment building, and like the buildings on its left and its right. There's a couple things you get. One is there is indeed a back entrance. There is so you got front entrance, back entrance. Front entrance is like a large double door. Back entrance is just a little like side building. There's actually 2 back entrances. One on like basically the left and the right sides. And then you also notice you do spot 3 open windows. 2 of which are on the second floor. One of which is on the ground floor in between the flower shop and the apartments. So one of the apartments there has like a window open. So you notice those open windows. You're also able to kind of like skulk around. There's not really a fire escape, but the building is slightly decorative, and you think that you might have the capabilities to like use like the corner where it has like some like moldings, and like they're not like gargoyle type things poking out, but like there are like parts of the facade like that are mostly decorative and stick out, and you think you might be able to climb up to the top if you were pressed to do so. And that's pretty much what you get.
Okay.
And no one seems to notice you. There are occasionally a person will like exit, right? You might see someone like leave, but for the most part, there's not a lot of foot traffic in and out. If you had to take a guess, you'd say you might have a decent chance of like spotting a window of where people aren't living, or not living, but like where people aren't at home.
Sure.
You'd be like, that seems like that. All the lights are off, that kind of thing.
So I'll like, as I'm walking by one of the back doors, or both, I guess, depending on the answer to the question, and I'll just like test to see if they're locked. Like,
They are. Both of them are locked.
all right, I will unlock one of them. Attempt to.
Okay. Go ahead and roll Skullduggery. You whip out your auto picker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you kind of like look side to side. No one seems to be coming. And you can just kind of lean up against that door, put your auto picker in, and start adjusting the settings so that it can pop the lock for you.
Also, 2 dice are already in jail. I just want you to know. Okay.
Wow. So early.
I know. Okay. I got 4 hits, 13 high.
Okay. Yeah. You really, really quickly, like just a couple clicks of the auto picker, and the lock pops for you.
Cool. Does it look like it automatically locks when it shuts?
Yes.
Is there like a piece of tape I can put over it? Or like a...
Do you have a machinery cube?
No. But I do have a spur. Could I put that in the like hole?
Sure. You got enough hits on your you have enough actually since you don't even have to spend the spur. You got enough hits on your Skullduggery that if you wanted to like jam this lock, you could.
Okay. I do.
Yeah. So you can have your auto picker kind of like turn it so that it's unlatched, and then like work your auto picker to kind of like get it misaligned so that it won't automatically lock when you close it.
Cool. When I walked around the front, did I see like a little like call buttons to see who lives here?
No, it seems like the front is probably unlocked with like kind of a little lobby area in the center.
Okay. But there's no like building tenants list anywhere?
No, not on the outside of the building anyways.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just like go in.
Sure. So you walk back around to the front doors. You push them open. You enter kind of a small lobby area with it looks like 2 hallways, one going to the right, one going to the left, and then a stairwell going up to what you assume are more hallways up top. And in that little area, there is a little like welcome desk, and not like old woman, but like a relatively elderly woman, like looks up from a book and like marks something off in it, and then closes it and goes, "Howdy, miss."
Hi. Do you have any units for rent?
We do actually. We have we have one available up on the second floor, middle of the hallway. Would you like to see it?
Yes.
All right then. She reaches into like her dress and like pulls out like a key ring, and then says, "Follow me." I'm sorry. I'm Sybil Klein. What is your name, young miss?
Diane.
Diane.
Keen.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Keene. What brings you to Lily Ridge? And are you renting just for you, or do you have a company?
There's 3 of us.
3. And then she kind of smiles and goes, "How young?"
Come and knock on our door. We're waiting for you.
Not too old.
That makes her feel like she gives you like a weird look on that. She goes, "All right." and then she leads you up the stairs. There's a kind of a central hallway that goes part way at the top of the stairs, and then it kind of goes into a T junction to left and to the right. And you see that that hallway, like the T junction, goes to like basically another T junction where there are doors, and there's doors through that T junction, and then doors on the other, like on the outside rooms. Basically, you are basically being shown a central room that has no exterior window. And she takes a left. She goes, this is the unit right here. It shouldn't be too small for a family your size. And she unlocks the doors and she goes, uh, you find work in town?
I'm hoping to help out at the big house. There's I have a tip from a friend that they need some help. They'll be needing some help shortly. So I came here to try my luck.
She kind of looks a little surprised at that and goes, the Gatti estate. I mean, what kind of work do you do? And you walk into a nice, modest little apartment. It's got like kind of an open concept kitchenette that like kind of is part of the living room, and then there's a little side bedroom you see, and then you don't see a restroom in here, so you assume there's probably a communal restroom somewhere in the apartment building. And it does have a bath though. She slides open like like kind of a it's not a curtain because it's solid. But it's like an accordion wall thing. I forget what they're called, but she slides open that to reveal where like the
like pocket doors.
Sure.
Like the separator thingy.
Yeah, it's a little divider. Anyways, it's off the main bedroom, and you pull it off to the side, and there's a bath there that you can. She goes, we can have hot water delivered to your room whenever need be, or we can arrange for such a thing for an increased rent. But that's what she's saying. I jumped ahead. What were you saying about what work you do?
Oh, I'll do just about anything. I used to do help out at a pretty large estate near Alanastead, and that work sort of dried up. So now I'm hoping with my experience in large houses that I can help there.
When you say you worked at a large estate in Alanastead, you get kind of a like a fist gut like feeling in your stomach as almost instinctively and nonchalantly she glances at your neck to see if there's a indentured collar there.
Get wrecked. There's not.
But like you kind of get that like kind of like just like that casual like, oh, are you indentured? Oh no, you're not. And so she goes, oh well, that's very nice. Well, best of luck to you in your endeavors here. Are you saying you have not been offered a job yet?
Not yet, but I'm hopeful. So right now I'm just at the saloon down the street over there, whatever it's called. And I'm just poking around at the moment.
Yeah, and she's not that, and she goes, well, the rent here should be quite affordable for anyone in the employ of the Gatti family. So, if you end up getting the job, what do you think?
I'll take it.
No, there's only the one room, but we have plenty of people here with children, and they you might even be able to find some friends for your young one, depending on how old you say he was again.
There's two.
Oh,
I said there were three of us. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. I assumed that that you had a partner with you.
No.
Well then, this apartment might be a little small depending on how well they get along together. I know sometimes kids, they like their own rooms, but we do have a very fine schoolhouse if you intend to stay. It's just down one of the side roads over to the east here.
Oh, wonderful. I'll have to go look at that. Thank you for the info. That's great.
Of course. Well, of course, if you get the job and you're willing to take the apartment, we can talk next steps. But I do have to get back to the front desk, so if you don't mind, she gestures towards the door.
Restroom?
Yes, yeah, we do. Go ahead and roll blend.
Aha! I'm not bad at that.
You're just trying to be an everyday person.
Just me, normal person over here.
My two kids, my two fully grown adult man kids.
They're like children. I have 2 hits, 11 high.
You're up against an 8.
Okay, so that's 2 hits because I am the aggressor.
Yeah, I think probably, yeah.
Okay, then that.
Because she's not trying to get a read on you. It's just a matter of if you slip up. As you're leaving, and she like locks the apartment door behind, she goes, "Oh, we do have a restroom. There's one. There's one on either side of the building. So you can go either way. You just take a left on either side, and you'll see the doors clearly marked."
Thank you.
No problem. I'll see you soon.
Yep.
And she heads downstairs, leaving you alone in the apartment building.
Great.
Jump back to Kinsey. Kinsey, you got apparently this is a restroom session. As right. you have been
gambit as old as time. Where's your toilet?
So Kinsey, Laverne has taken his eyes off you. He is now talking with Roland. So what are you getting up to?
I'll just head to the back door and open it and take some step outside, and then close the door and stay on this side of it. I'm going to see if there's like a back stairwell or some other doors in the back that perhaps I can take a look at.
Sure. So you're trying to snoop around.
Yeah, a little bit.
Go ahead and roll an observe test for me.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
I would like to use my talent, motivational speaker, which does allow me to roll manipulate as an assist for any test. And so I would like to just occupy Laverne for as long as possible to give Kinsey the time he needs to snoop.
Sure. I was about to be like, you can't do it, you're not with Kinsey, but this is a way you can do it.
Hey, Kinsey, take a +5.
Well, all right.
Yeah, so tell me about these, what do you call them? Rhododendrons?
Yeah, these are pretty special. Let me tell you all about them. All right, Kinsey, what did you get with your +5?
That's a 2 hits with a high of 13.
Okay. You do find there is, in fact, kind of like a basement entrance of some kind, a cellar of sorts. Basically, you walked back behind the counter into like kind of the back area. There's like a little stock room with like seeds and soil and stuff like that. You also notice there's a little another little side room where buds of flowers are like being like cultivated on like several like ceiling high almost racks. And then there's basically what might have been mistaken for a closet door next to those two rooms. Nope, I froze up.
You did. Closet door after those two.
Yeah, might have been mistaken for a closet door. You open it up. It's a stairwell leading straight down.
Oh, and it's just open, is it? I suppose I have the keys, don't I? All right.
Yeah. It's also so you didn't need the keys.
Right, that's perfect. But all the doors were open. Like, as long as I can get into the place, we can get to the stairway down.
Yeah. Basically, you needed the keys to check the area where the room was that had like the buds, but then like the kind of shallow storage room was unlocked, and this staircase leading down to the basement is also unlocked.
Okay, interesting. And then the stairway, it's like a long stairs, or does it go into a tunnel?
I mean, so you flip on. There's a little light you can flip on to see all the way down to the bottom. It doesn't go very deep, just normal basement deep, and it does seem to level out into probably a room from what you can see from standing at the top of the stairs.
Okay, I'll go down. I'll go down. I might as well see what's down there.
Okay, so as you do that, no, nothing happens. You go down the stairs. They are not trapped or anything. You get to the bottom, and it's just like at a glance, it looks like a larger, like a larger storage room. Like it looks like it has a little side room where it's kind of like it's a basement apartment basically. The central area that would have been like a living room is kind of like looks more like a break room. It's got a little bit of a kitchen type area, but it has a few tables and chairs, or not tables and chairs, one table, few chairs, and then kind of walking around, there are several doors attached to this, and you're able to kind of snoop around. One is a very small bedroom. One is kind of like a shower unit where one could wash himself. It's not a bath. It's actually a standing shower. And the other two rooms are like more storage.
And nothing seems as though it might be a hidden door. Would I need to roll another observe test on that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll another observe test.
I still have that +5.
You do not. But I will give you a +2.
All right.
Just because you do have time to take like a thorough looking through.
I'm going to spend grit to play into the gallery. 2 grit to play into the gallery. That's 3 successes for me.
All right. You scope it out. It is a nice room. You gather that Laverne is the only person who lives down here, but he might not be the only person who works in this flower shop. You just you peek in his food storage area, and there's like a couple things marked with a couple different names. You're like, okay, so there's some employees that work here too, besides just him. Maybe he has at least 1 or 2 people helping him out. It seems like, and you. Check his bedroom, which is locked, but you have the key. And it's small, quaint, has a little bed, a little writing desk, nothing else to it. And then you check the storage closets. It's more just like home storage type stuff, nothing too crazy. And you snoop around, check under the beds, check around the shelvings. You are pretty sure there's no secret door or exit or entrance to this area.
All right. And I'll go back to the top of the stairs and kind of open the back door again and close it and come towards the front and go, phew, just got to the door and realized I needed to have a squat. Sorry about that.
I was about to ask, did you fall in? I don't mean no offense.
No worries. I am a bit clumsy. I had to catch myself once or twice. Here you are.
He relaxes a little bit at that, takes the keys. And turns to you, Roland. He goes, "So, what do you think?"
Well, it's a tough decision.
He's offered you flowers ranging from 1 spur to 6 spurs.
What are the 6 spur flowers?
It's like an insane arrangement. It's like. He's like, this one actually grows berries you can eat if you tend to it long enough, like that kind of thing. Like it's It's like an intense, large arrangement, like something that could even be like the center of like a table, like a ballroom table or something like that.
Yeah, you know, she's probably got a ballroom. Yeah, I'll take that one.
All right. Want me to wrap it up for you for the transport?
Yes, that is smart. Please do that, Laverne.
And so he wraps it up. It comes with like a nice, tall, like kind of very ornate vase, and he wraps up the flowers, gives you some like some materials to like tend to them. He packages it up real nice. He's like, I won't charge you extra for the gift wrapping, and he makes it like a really nice wrapped up display of flowers with like a beautiful bow on it, and the flowers are like kind of like pulled in just slightly so they can survive transit with like nice tissue paper around them, and the vase is completely visible, so like you can, you know, it looks very nice, worth 6 spurs.
Laverne, this is fantastic. I will absolutely remember your name next time I come through town if I need more flowers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You good to go there, Ken?
Oh yes, quite ready. Let's move on. We've got a meeting to get to, don't we?
Yeah, wouldn't want to be late.
No. And,
You can take, for the duration you have these flowers, you can take a first aid cube. Like I guess don't write them as a first aid cube, but write the flowers in your inventory, because like based on his description of these, like some of these have like properties that can be used like in medicine. He mentions that too, right? He's like, they're not just beautiful flowers; they also have a lot of uses, and they bud and regrow, so you can kind of like tend to them and keep them for as long as you got a green thumb, you can keep them going and reap the rewards.
And as we leave, I think I'd like to stop in the door and kind of lean back to Laverne and say, by the way, Laverne, we've already talked to Miss Gatty's people. I don't think there's any necessity for anyone else in town, should you be in the saloon or at any of the bathhouses, anything like that, to speak to anyone else about us being here. And I'm going to kind of pull back my little jacket to show my pistol. Trying to intimidate him.
Yeah, go ahead and roll intimidate. You can have a +2 because he is not expecting it at all. You just had a very nice conversation. He feels very good about things. He's like, this is great. Everything went great. My dad would be so proud. And then just like right there at the end, you just remind him that like, oh yeah, we might be killers. And
Yes, that's 2 successes with a high of 10.
You're up against a 4.
Oh, perfect. So that's a 2 net hits.
Cool. So yeah, with 2 net successes, he goes, "That'd be nice, sir. Of course."
Thank you very much. And
but like Roland, you can tell he immediately he went like super stiff.
And thank you for the flowers, by the way.
I will give Kinsey sort of the like smack upside the head, and just do the like, what are you doing, Ken? We just had a very lovely time here. Now you gotta go and make it. I'm so sorry, you know. But like,
no, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Thank you so much. Yes.
I'm just saying it's none of his business. We should be talking to people about us being.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
All right, you both can have a grit. That was great.
I think I did hit 2 of mine. My triggers in there. I did get Laverne's keys using only words, and then he was in an extremely disadvantageous position the whole time in there.
Yeah, absolutely. You tricked him into giving his keys away and letting someone basically have full run of his business and apartment.
And could you say the patience was rewarded by me taking the extra time to actually take and look and search properly?
Absolutely.
I'll take that as well.
That's what, 3 XP for everyone and a grit for Roland.
Also, someone was threatened with violence.
Hey, that's an XP right there from PAX.
All right.
And I've already taken something I want but don't deserve.
All those LRC tags.
You really didn't deserve those at all. Now.
Yeah, that's another XP, and Pax, you can take a grit.
Yeah.
Oh, and we were shown how to survive in the wild if you count the flowers.
Actually, legitimately, like Laverne was incredibly informative, and because Roland like kept pressing him for questions, like Roland now knows some like medicinal and like fruit bearing flowers and shrubbery of this territory.
What a scene, everyone! That's 6 already.
Yeah, well done. That's 6 XP in one scene. Pax wasn't even in the scene and gave 2 XP for it. Or 1, I suppose. 1. But anyways, yeah. So you got 2, Kinsey. So don't forget to take your grit for that.
Yes.
All right. Let's cut back to Pax. Pax, you are heading to your own restroom.
Yeah, I'm not gonna end up going there. I'm gonna take the stairs down, and see if there's the stairs down, like into the basement.
So the main stairway down, you know that she'll probably see you because it connects to the main lobby. But with just a little bit of looking around, you're able to tell, like, if you walked because like just to not look suspicious, you would walk to the path where the bathroom is and kind of get out of sight. It looks like there might be stairs at the back side leading down towards the back door exits.
Sure. Yeah, I would like to.
So you can take those
down
back
that
stairs.
Mm-hmm.
This apartment building is very nice, by the way. The hallways are pretty wide. They have good decorations in them. Lots of like natural lights. There's like tall, like floor to ceiling windows on either end of the hallways, and it's just all together like very very nice. Not like luxury apartments, but for like a settlement, like this is pretty great. And you get down to the back staircase. It's kind of like a nice winding staircase with like a wood banister. You're able to get down to the lower hallway.
Okay, but there's no. It doesn't continue on to like a basement.
Not that you can see, no.
Okay, then I will go out through the front.
So you're gonna go back up and come and like leave casually through the front?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll an observe test for me.
Okay.
Do it at a -4.
I'm not gonna notice anything.
Hey, for 3 grit though, you
Right.
might. And I know you're good for it.
Wait, a -3?
It's at a -4.
A -4. Okay, then I'm gonna play to the gallery.
Okay.
To be able to count all 3 of these 7s that I just rolled.
They all explode.
Jeez.
Okay, and I
It's
don't
like
have a
a jackpot,
reliability.
right? 777.
Yeah. So I got 4 hits, 7 high, and 1 6.
Wow. Well, it wasn't opposed. Looking in the hallway, as you get to the bottom of the stairs, you open it up and kind of peek down that hallway. You see the back door, conveniently the back door that you messed with. You look down that hallway again, and you notice, like, this is a very nice apartment that's very well cleaned, and like it has like beautiful polished like brass handles and stuff like that. And there is one apartment door in this hallway on the ground floor that the handle doesn't look as polished. It looks like, oh, you got 4 hits, right? Yeah. And given your history as like an indentured servant, you like, it's almost as if whoever is in charge of cleaning this hallway was told not to fuck with that door. Right? Like that's what you see like down there. You see like a door that like stands out a little bit because like the handle isn't polished. The door, like it's clean, like the door frame is clean, everything around it is clean, but like that, like they don't like, they're like the door, the the door is less touched and less cleaned by whoever the cleaning staff is here.
Okay. Good to know. I will still exit.
Okay. So you go back up. You go around. As you leave, Sybil looks up from her book and says, "Have a nice day and good luck."
Thank you. Have a good day.
And you step outside.
Yeah.
Just as Roland and Kinsey are stepping out of the flower shop, seeming to have an argument.
I just think, it shouldn't be blabbing his mouth around. I thought it might be effective. We're supposed to be gangsters after all.
No, yeah, it was great. No, it was very much the right thing to do. I just sort of had to listen. The sort of the scene we've set up in there is that I'm the boss, right?
Yes, the power dynamic. Okay, I get you.
Yeah, so in this situation, should it ever come up, right? You can do things and be a little rough around the edges and threaten people with violence, and then I apologize on your behalf without actually telling them that your threat ain't good.
Very clever.
It sounds like you guys had fun. Did you find anything?
Well, we did find this wonderful bouquet of flowers. Isn't this beautiful?
Yeah, Roland is holding unless I guess you probably would have handed it to Kinsey maybe. One of the two of them, you guys can decide who.
I think I got it.
Okay, Roland is holding a tall, very, very elegant, large, flower centerpiece, basically.
Okay. I think I found our entrance, but we can't bring that thing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if we get caught, I got a pretty good gift. Who doesn't like gifts?
Okay.
That's good.
What?
It's good that you found the entrance, because all I found is a dirty apartment.
Well, yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't really have a silver lining for that one.
The flowers.
Your
flowers is the silver lining.
Also the flowers, yes. So it was not devoid of silver linings. So what? Are we going through the tunnel? Are we trying to meet her on her own grounds at this point?
I don't know. I mean, I don't feel great about not knowing about these tunnels and whatnot, but I do feel better about our chances walking in the front door with these extremely expensive flowers.
I mean, we could attempt to split the difference. I could go through the tunnels and meet you inside. Maybe?
That feels extremely dangerous.
I think knowing where the tunnels are kind of proves our worth as informants, isn't it? And I had the thought, perhaps, so I could contribute something to this. It might be nice to let Miss Gatti know that should the Dead Man's Gang show up to steal her guns, we have already set up a trap for them. So if you like, you can go down the tunnels.
Oh.
With the tunnels, yes, you can go down the tunnels, set up a trap, explain to them the mechanics so that none of their people trip it, and maybe that's the method we go with here.
I don't love putting a trap in a family boss's tunnel and then walking all the way across town to tell her about it.
All right.
It feels like it's gonna get tripped and it's gonna look bad.
That's fair. That has happened to me once or twice before.
We could, if you want, go over there and suggest that to her.
Yeah, see, I was with you right up until the part where you wanted us to set the trap and then go talk to her.
That's fair, yes. Sure. Well, are we going to have to walk across town? Is that perhaps could we hit a ride with someone? My feet are getting tired.
Yeah. Ken, I ain't got a response to that.
So you guys walk.
Yeah.
With a beleaguered Kinsey.
Ugh, these city roads are so hard.
You just gotta get something with good arch support.
I don't need something with good arch support. I'm usually in the wilderness.
Well,
I'm not going to carry around a pair of boots with me, just another thing to weigh me down.
And eventually you make it to the Gati estate. As Pax saw it before, stone, a very like tasteful stone wall, tall archway with iron doors, latched shut. And you do see on the other side of the doors there is a fella smoking a cigar, who's just kind of like resting casually with like a rifle like leaning against the wall. And he sees the three of you walking towards. He like sees you approaching, eyes the flowers, kind of sizes you up a little bit, Roland. And then he like puffs on a cigar a little bit. He looks at it and he sees that you haven't like branched off or started like, go into one of the shops, one of the side roads. And like he like kind of watches you for a minute. And then he puts his cigar out on the wall and pulls out like a little metal case, slides it in that, closes that, and then like slings the rifle up on his shoulder. And as you approach the gate, yes?
Yeah. I will hand off the flowers to Kinsey so as to appear more in charge of the situation.
And he watches you as you approach. He goes, "Howdy."
Hey there. My name's James. This is my friend Rachel, my associate Ken. We would, I'll come right out and say it. We'd love to speak with Miss Gatti. We got some information that she probably would enjoy having.
James what?
Damasciano.
Well, give me a moment, James. And he walks over to kind of like the little like side like little building built on the interior of the stone wall. You see he confers with somebody there. You can kind of like glance, see through like the glass. He's like talking to someone. They seem to check like some papers, and then he grabs like a little like microphone off of like the table and presses a button on a console. Says a couple things into it. Seems to listen. Says a couple more things into it, and then he sets it down. And then he comes back out and he goes, "Were you looking to make an appointment with Miss Gatti? She's a very busy woman. Perhaps you'd like to speak to one of her aides."
Nah, it's sort of urgent, so I figured we kind of got to talk to Akeo herself, you know?
Right. Well, surely you're coming to these doors. You understand it ain't easy to just walk up and have a conversation with her on your own time. You are beholden to her. And
yeah, that's why I brought the gift.
It was very nice. I'd be happy to take those for you.
I'd really, all right, here's the thing. I can see we're going to be at an impasse here for a while. So why don't I'll give you sort of a preview here. Salvador Alston intended to sell those guns to some other people who are now coming for their guns, and we thought we'd give you a warning. But we could leave if you ain't interested in hearing more. And the flowers are mighty nice. I'd be happy to have them on my table at home. So,
Also, would you like the red coins back, or is that not a thing that you care to?
Nah, they don't.
You don't want
They
them?
don't
They don't
need
want
the coins back.
Okay, yeah,
that ain't a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll a manipulate test.
Can I help?
You can.
Yeah. One hit.
You get a +1.
Uh,
You can actually You can have a +2. You have additional information that you came out the gate with. So.
Am I dressed to impress?
Yeah.
Great. This is going great. This is an extremely good roll. I hope this is the most socially adept god of all time, so I can dunk on him super hard.
You're up against a 7.
Alright, I got 5 net hits over a 7. My high is a 16.
Cool. So you say all that, and he kind of looks a little more concerned. And he goes, "One moment." And he
Thank you.
walks back into that room. You don't hear what's going on, but the voices are definitely raised. You can kind of hear them like and he like snatches the thing and he like starts talking into it and like again it's you guys are waiting there for a little while, but like it seems like there's a kerfuffle happening in that room. I don't. Are you guys getting up to anything, or are you just kind of sitting there waiting for him to come back out?
Can I see into that room?
Not very well. You can see that there is a room, and if you get up close to the gate, like not like suspiciously close, like but like you don't have to like lean against it. But if you get up like kind of close to the gate and like look just a little bit, you can see him like at least part of him unobscured through a window talking into this microphone at the console.
So it sounds like no chance of trying to read his lips.
No, not really.
Yeah, I'll just look nonchalant and casual, I suppose.
And he's like talking back and forth with the other person there, who seems to be contributing to the conversation in some way. And there seems to be a big discussion going on. And then there's like a little bit of silence. And he comes back out, this time flanked by a servant, a well-dressed man with an ornate, kind of almost horseshoe-shaped collar, like kind of loosely hanging around his neck, a torque, and he says, "Well, you are in luck. This is Cal, and he'll be showing you up into one of the sitting rooms in the estate. And if you're lucky, Miss T herself will be with you shortly."
That's great. Luck's been good so far, I think. I imagine we'll be talking soon. It has been lovely speaking with you. Cal, if you would lead the way, please.
They both approach the gate. The guard unlocks it. They slide both of the gates open. They walk you in. And then Kinsey, as you're walking, he kind of like stops you with a hand. And he goes, "I'm going to have to take a look at those flowers real quick. Don't mind. Don't worry. I'll be delicate."
Not at all, yes.
And he like kind of like moves them around a little bit without like messing up the wrapping very much. Kind of looks around, sloshes the water a little bit, and then hands it back to you.
Awfully pretty, aren't they?
Smell nice.
Mm-hmm.
And Cal goes, "Right this way."
Yeah, I'll follow Cal.
You approach. You walk all the way across the grounds. It's a nice, beautiful, winding path. Little like hedges and fountains breaking up the grounds. Bubbling nicely. You see there's fish inside the fountains as you get a little closer to one. You actually see the fountains themselves are connected by little like ground, like in the ground there's like maybe about a foot deep little like pathways of water, and you can see the fish like kind of going up these like little miniature streams that connect the fountains together, and it's like built into the stonework of the pathways, and as you get up to the house, you don't walk in through the main front doors. You kind of walk in through one of the many side doors into like kind of an atrium. which is beautifully decorated, extremely well lit, like gorgeous tile flooring. And he walks you into into a hallway. As you walk in, two other servants approach, and he turns to the three of you and goes, "Would you like anything to drink, eat while you wait? I'm sorry, I don't know how far you've traveled."
You got any water with like cucumber slices in it?
We could arrange that.
It's so funny. I was literally going to ask for that. It's great. A spot of coffee wouldn't go, miss, here.
Absolutely. How do you take it?
No, black as the night. No, actually, could I have 6 cubes of sugar in there?
Absolutely, sir. And for you, miss. You are muted, Eddie.
Nothing. Thank you.
Are you all right?
Yes. You're doing a very good job.
Thank you. And he nods to the other two, who basically seem to have like internalized your orders. And he asks, "And nothing to eat?"
No one wants anything to eat. Thank you.
All right. And he nods to the two who walk off. And he leads you down a hall and pushes open 2 large doors into, like, Kinsey, to you, this is like a ballroom. This is like it's like a very large, high ceiling room. Gorgeous art on the walls. It has a fireplace which is not lit right now. It has several like tall curtained windows that are currently drawn. As you walk in, I guess they're not currently drawn. They're being drawn by a couple servants who draw them and like kind of like let the light into the room, and then they make their way out. There's a billiards table, several very comfortable like seating arrangements of couches and chairs and tables, and plenty of room to like walk around. Gorgeous like rugs on the ground on top of hardwood polished floor. It's resplendent. And Cal gestures to the room and he goes, "Please make yourselves at home. The others will be in with your drinks shortly," he says, and like almost like seconds after that, like they walk in behind you with a cup of coffee and a glass of water with some cucumber in it. And they set that like one of them is holding like the tray and the other one is holding like a stand and like basically sets up the stand. The other one sets down the tray, and there's like a pitcher of water with some cucumber in it, and then there's also like a pot of coffee for refills, and some. You notice 2 tins of sugar. And there is also like another like 2 extra empty glasses on that tray as well. And he says, "If there's anything you should require, just pull that rope there and someone will tend to your needs. I hope you do not mind. I will be locking the door behind me on my way out. And there are I've been instructed to inform you that there are guards posted at the in the hallways."
As well, understood.
Enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
And he walks out, shuts the door. You hear a lock click, and you're alone in this massive room.
Should I take my shoes off before I go any further? Or this is ridiculous.
Can't leave your shoes on. Listen, I cannot stress enough. Do not take off your shoes.
Pax, how are you doing?
Fine. Yeah. No. Is there a second set of? There's a second set of doors, right?
Yeah, there are 2 other sets of doors.
Cool. I'm just gonna quick like a bunny unlock both of those.
Okay. Pax really quickly makes her way across the large room to the southern door, pulls out her auto picker. Go ahead and we'll just roll one skullduggery for me. Do it on a -2.
Okay.
For reasons.
Yeah, because there's gods on the other side of those doors.
Yeah, no, I mean, I expect so. I'd rather do it quiet than quick. Okay, that's good. -2, you said?
Yeah. You are up against a 9.
Okay, well. Okay, so I have 3 hits, 12 high. But I will say that my other 2 hits are 9s, so...
Oh, you're the aggressor here. You are actively unlocking this door. Yeah, so you go over and just like a couple subtle clicks of the auto picker, you kind of twist it, and then you're pretty sure that door is unlocked. And we'll just count that roll for the other side. You go over to the other side, same thing. You guys see she does this very quickly without talking to either of you.
And then I'll just, I don't know, look out the window or something? I don't know.
Kinsey's dumping an entire tin of sugar into his coffee and trying to stir it without spilling.
Oh my god.
I don't get much access to sugar.
No, I get it. That don't change nothing, Ken.
Try it. I promise you'll like it.
No.
Full loss. It's very good.
At least her thing I get.
You guys are waiting in this room for a decent amount of time. Anything else happen? Any conversations? Any more shenanigans? Or you just kind of sit in silence?
I forgot, Pax, you were in the wagon train for related reasons. Indentured reasons. Is that didn't you free a lot of these people? As well as formerly being one of them, is that...
That's a wonderful joke you've told, Ken. It's really fantastic, and I'm glad we've all heard it, and now...
I'm just saying...
Yeah, no, you should stop saying...
Rachel, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, it's weird, right? Like, just like your lines to...
Yeah, I'm going to take this big pitcher of water with, like, ice in it and clink it around, and pour it so it's loud as I say, yeah, there's probably listening devices in here, and they're listening to our conversation, so ixnay on the revealing shit.
Are there, like...
Have another point of grit, Kinsey.
Is there like books or like a weird globe or something in here? Like
the books and a weird globe in this room.
Great. I guess I'll look at, like, I'll start fidgeting after a while, like test all the books to see if it opens a door, and then like, spin the globe, see if it opens, see if it's like a mini bar inside, shut it.
It is not, but there is a non-concealed a little it's not a wardrobe because it's a glass front, but it's got like bottles of liquor and stuff in it, and nice glasses, crystal glasses in it.
I don't care about
That's
that.
a credenza.
Liquor cabinet. Got it.
Cool. I guess I'll find a book to read.
Sure, you can.
Sure.
There's plenty of books. It even has like a little ladder. It's not like all the way to the ceiling, but it is very tall. So there's like a little ladder you can slide over to get up to the upper shelves.
I don't want to. Just something That
grab whatever and then go sit down.
page through it. No, just stand there. Just page through it. Put it back. Next one.
I will sit down like a normal person who's asked to wait and make myself comfortable, but not like this is my house comfortable. I'm like waiting room comfortable.
Sure.
You know, is it like there's like a group of like sofas and chairs that are next to each other, right?
Yes.
Right. And Kinsey's just kind of standing in the middle of that as you sit down on one of the couches, drinking his coffee and afraid to move.
Great. Okay, this is fine.
So Roland, as both of your companions are kind of Kinsey sort of frozen with the realization that he might be being watched and possibly listened to, and Pax not having a nervous breakdown, but visibly nervous. You guys wait for about 15 to 20 minutes. It feels
Jesus,
long.
I thought it was so much longer based on what you described.
It just seems that way.
It felt that long. And about like 20 or so minutes later, a door opens up. It is the one that you were let in. And you see three people, well dressed, seemingly unarmed. They don't have like guns on their shoulders or anything, but you would probably guess that they are guards, given the fact that their their like clothes look similar. It's not a uniform, but it's like they have like a dress code. They walk in and without really saying anything to you, kind of like take positions around the room, one at each exit, and they kind of just stand there with their arms like kind of crossed in front of their waists.
Yeah, standard guard position.
Yeah. And then a moment later, there's movement again in the door as Cal walks in and says, "Mrs. Akeo Gati." And behind him, you see, flanked by two more guards, you would presume. They don't have like rifles on their shoulders or anything. Is a super well-dressed woman. She is wearing an extremely it's not like a ball gown, right? But like it's a very modern like fashionable dress that like fits really. It's a black dress. It fits her form really well. She's got very well done like kind of braided back hair, kind of multiple braids going back down her head, and she's got like dark, beautifully like clean skin, dark eyes, and like her makeup is on point. She's got several like earrings in both ears. And you can see like some tattoos on her like forearm creeping up into the sleeve of the right sleeve of her dress. The left arm has no sleeve. And she walks in, and another tray is set with like a glass of with a bottle of wine and several glasses. And Cal makes his exit, shuts the door. You hear the lock click again. And the two guards that came in with the KO, they kind of make their way to like the two of the corners of the room. And she is about 5'10", 5'11", and she's pretty athletically built, but still like live looking. And she looks at you not like gently.
I will, of course, as is, polite in such company, stand when she enters.
Oh, good, I was already standing.
That's
I'll
not
put
better.
my book away.
Honestly, I think as she like sweeps in her gown, Kinsey gives like a probably a too big bow.
Yeah, she eyes you for a second, eyes packs for a second, and then her eyes lock on you, Roland. And she looks at you with just the smallest bit of impatience. There's like this not, like completely non-verbal, non-physical, like threatening, like atmosphere to the way she.
Yeah, but I get it.
Right. And she walks in and crosses her arm and goes, "I hear you have news for me." She looks at the table and goes, "Thank you for the flowers."
You're welcome. Laverne in town recommended them. Lovely boy. Does great work. So, I'll just lay it out on the table. Me and my associates are currently in a position where we have something to offer you that we believe would be of benefit to you. And if you were to follow up on said information, it would, in a roundabout way, be of considerable benefit to us. And we have no interest in competing with you on any level. So I think this is sort of a win-win for everyone involved.
As you get about partway through your spiel, she sweeps around to where the wine is. It's already been like uncorked and like decanted, and she pours it from the decanter into one of the glasses, sets it down, takes a sip as you finish, and she goes, "And who the hell are you?"
I am James DeMarciano.
Roll manipulate.
Hey, that's a pretty good roll.
You are up against a 14.
Am I dressed to impress? Still?
Yeah, I think so. You cleaned up.
Great. I also got a 14.
Nice.
Just the one, though.
Just the one? Okay. So, you say that, and she goes, it's Demasiano, right? She goes, "And your companions, Mr. Demasiano?"
This is Rachel. This is Ken.
Ken, sit down. You look like your legs are about to give out.
Oh my God! Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And flop down on the couch.
Rachel, do join him.
I will walk over and sit.
Please excuse my associates. What they lack in social graces, they more than make up for in practical areas, if you get my meaning.
That's really nice.
Well, I didn't open this bottle of wine for nothing. Would anyone like a drink?
I would love a drink, thank you.
Wine's not usually my cup of tea, but sure, yes, I'll take a glass.
I don't partake.
As you wish. And she gestures to one of the guards, who steps up, pours 2 glasses of wine, and hands one to you, Roland, and walks over and hands it to Kinsey. Kinsey, as he leans down to hand it to you, you see his jacket kind of like swing open, and you see he's got a gun strapped to his ribs.
No surprise is there. Kinsey's going to take a spoonful of sugar and put it in the wine and stir it.
No, oh God, no.
Okay.
This was going so well.
and she says, "Roland, not Roland. What's your name, Mr.
That would be
Demasiano?"
extremely bad.
Dang, she's good. She's real good.
No. She goes, "Mr. Demasiano," and she gestures to the couch that your companions are on as she sits on the couch facing it.
Yeah, sure. I'll take a seat.
She kind of spreads out comfortably in the couch, crosses her legs, puts one arm up, and takes a sip of her wine, sets it on like a little end table nearby. And she goes, Do enlighten me with the information you convinced my guards to drag me in here for.
Right. So, it's not my business what your beef with Mr. Alston was. I don't care. I'm happy to see the man dead. But I am currently involved with a business associate who meant to purchase arms from Salvador, arms that are now in your possession. My associate is not a man inclined to negotiate or otherwise parlay, and does intend to rob you of said arms.
Where is it? What back alley poker room did Rufus Nash pull you out of?
Oh, I assure you, the poker room he pulled me out of was not in a back alley.
It's funny because it was on a riverboat. And she goes, did Nash send you, or are you coming here of your own volition?
Little column A, little column B. I wish to be rid of Mr. Nash. I'll be frank. The man is distasteful to me, and his methods are frankly upsetting to people in our line of work.
And yet you refer to him as your associate? You have business with the man.
Well, listen. We ain't all perfect. Every now and then we find ourselves in unfavorable positions, and I recently found myself in such a position, and Rufus took advantage of that, and I need to rectify that situation.
And what is it you propose? You need something from me, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't risk coming in here and associating yourself with the likes of the Dead Man's Gang, having seen Salvatore's death firsthand, she says, kind of glancing to Pax.
Yeah, no, that would be insane to come in here and truly be part of the Dead Man's Gang.
It would.
So I can assist with ensuring that Mr. Nash's associates who are on their way in the next couple days intending to rob you, we can assist with their removal. And more importantly, the three of us are aware of some information that could put you in a position to, to be owed a favor from Ambassador Yen.
Roll manipulate. I was going to give you negatives because of Kinsey, but I think the dangling meat of like Ambassador Yen kind of balances that out.
Roland, always making up for Kinsey.
I will spend 5 grit to bamboozle her.
All right. You are up against. Currently, you are up against a 4, but depending on what you rolled, there might be some grit coming back at you.
All right. I got 3 net hits over a 4 with the high of a 12.
Okay. I will go ahead and take a grit back. She's going to play to the gallery to be able to count this 10. So, how many net successes do you have over a 10?
Just the 1.
Okay. She goes, Ambassador Yen, my, you have all sorts of friends, both in high and low places.
Well, a man of my skills. You know, you meet people, you catch their ear. Before you know it, you're in rooms like this, talking to people like you.
Yes. Ambassador Yen, what makes you believe that I don't already have the good ambassador in my employ? All of Alonstead belongs to Gati.
You telling me that the ambassador with the top marshal in Alonstead as his son is in bed with the family? Nah, you wouldn't even be listening to me if that were the case.
She nods at that and goes, astutely put.
Now, here's the thing. That's a son I'm sure she would like to see home safe and alive.
You telling me not only is he alive, but you know where he is?
Better than that. I know where he'll be.
What I understand is he will be north of Alonstead in 3 weeks' time in exchange for a healthy sum of spurs. Are you telling me you have different information?
Yeah. They ain't intending to hand over, Marshal Yen for those spurs.
Well, of
They don't
course.
give a shit about those spurs.
Hence why they needed Salvatore's business, which I cut off. I am not a fan of the Dead Man's Gang, and I'm even less of a fan of having a friend of Ruslan Kowalski doing business in my territory for such a murderous gang. I dealt with Salvatore, and I cut off the Dead Man's Gang supply, and I feel quite confident that if they are so foolhardy as to launch an open attack on my estate, that they will get the end they justly deserve. I don't really see much need for 3 bold and clearly skilled drifters to help even the odds. I think I have that covered.
Right. You got all your tunnel entrances locked down, I'm sure.
She sits there just for a second, grabs like the goblet of wine, and goes, tell me what you know, and takes a sip.
Well, I mean, it stands to reason someone like you investing in sort of civic infrastructure. Every time something goes wrong, you put a, entrance here, entrance there, one in the apartment across from the flower shop, a couple others around town. Pretty soon you got a nice little spider web. Move your goods in and out.
And the 3 of you found this out yourself while being in town for how long?
About 8 hours.
A feat
We was
the Dead
asleep
Man-
for part of that.
A feat the Dead Man's Gang, no doubt, would pay you handsomely for.
And now we sort of come to the crux of the issue, right? None of us would want to be in this gang. If there was a way out that didn't require a little bit of outside assistance, we'd have done it.
And she kind of chuckles at that. Stands up, walks around to the other end of the couch, kind of leans on it, and goes, yet here you are, informing me that the 3 of you have discovered this tunnel entrance, and you've assuredly not informed the Dead Man's Gang of their existence yet. So the way I see it, and like the guards kind of like bristle a little bit as like the tone in her voice changes, I take care of the 3 of you, and the Dead Man's Gang no longer has any more capable and bold help.
Well, I suppose that's true, but then the ambassador don't owe you a favor. You don't know why Rufus wants Yen so bad. They probably still get away with the guns just based on their track record. I mean, look at these assholes. It shocks me to my core how successful they are. And yet, I mean, you got enough guys here that, you clearly expecting a fight, but like, I'm sure you've seen Miguel around town, and of course, who knows who else is coming.
Miguel, you mean Miguel Reyes?
Yeah, he ain't
Last
exactly
time-
subtle.
Last I heard, he was seen leaving Wilburton heavily wounded, in no shape for a fight.
Ah, well, clearly you got the best information all the time, right? That's how we came to be here.
You can roll manipulate again.
Jesus. That's a good roll.
Ah, I think you might have this one. She only rolled a 9.
I got. Oh wait, those explode. I assume I'm still dressed to impress.
Yes.
Yeah, I got 2 14s.
Okay, so two successes over.
Yeah.
She smiles at that and says, Mr. Demasiado. It is Demasiado, right? That's your name? She says with like a kind of sly grin.
That's what I said.
Indeed. She walks back over, grabs her wine, takes another sip, and like walks over to like one of the globes and starts like moving it around. Hold on, my dog is whimpering like crazy. I don't think he realizes he can walk through the curtain to where I am. One. All right, he's good. She moves the globe around with one finger, and then she says, all right, consider me interested. Lay out your proposal.
Well, here's what I would like out of this situation. I would like any member of the Dead Man's gang who comes for your guns to end up dealt with. I would like at the ambush regarding the transfer of one Marshal Yen, ambushed, as it were. I would like every member of the Dead Man's gang dead. Personally, I'd like it if Ambassador Yen owed you a favor. And then I'd like for the 3 of us to disappear and never speak again.
It sounds like you're looking to hire the family for assistance with your problem.
Mm. It sounds like the family is hiring us as consultants.
She shakes her head at that and she goes, you'd be woefully misinformed. We only hire in-house.
Sure.
Are you looking to join? I could use a man like you. And I'm sure, and she looks at Kinsey and Pax, your friends have their uses.
Sort of a non-starter. If the 3 of us is stuck in the garden working for you. No offense. Listen, I love what you've done with Lily Grove. It's wonderful. Best place I've been in a while. But, nah. No deal if we ain't gone after this.
Well, then, I appreciate your offer for assistance. But I like my chances against the Dead Man's gang, even with your help, especially the chance of catching them in the tunnels, now that I know you know. Unless you can find some other way to sweeten the pot for me, I believe we are done here. Though, of course, you're free to return if you find something.
I will shoot a look towards Pax and hope that we have developed enough of a rapport that she can understand the question I am currently asking of her.
Do you not know Addie?
I don't know.
All right, I will take that as a yes.
It's possible Pax might be able to glean it. Pax, go ahead and roll discipline. at a -3 for picking up his nonverbal cue.
Oh, I know what it is now.
Yeah, that's Pax.
No, Pax would definitely know. Addie's just a dummy.
So Roland gives a significant glance to Pax.
Oh God. Pax. Oh no. Am I frozen?
Nope.
Okay, great. Pax nods slowly, hopefully indicating how hesitant she is about this plan.
Alright. I didn't want to play this card. Here's the thing. There are 3 people alive who know why Rufus Nash wants Marshall Yen so bad. And they are sitting on your couch. And only 2 of them know where it is. You don't get to know which 2 it is.
I think she actually laughs at that. I think she like lets out like a much more elegant laugh than what I just did.
No, it was perfect.
Just well, and she thinks for a second. Perhaps you do have uses. She like stops messing with the globe, finishes her wine, hands it to one of the guards, and then like walks over to you, kind of gesturing for you, like the 3 of you to stand up.
Yeah, sure.
And she like looks at Kinsey and Pax and like kind of like brushes some dust off of like Pax's shoulder.
Oh, she doesn't touch my shoulder.
Do you move?
Like not in a like violent way, but in sort of a like a I'm graceful enough that I can, just sort of like a right, like, or even just lean in, right? But like she doesn't. Nobody does that. She can like brush off Kinsey if she wants.
So
Might take all day, but
she walks over to Pax and goes to like brush some dust off of Pax's shoulder. Pax moves out of the way. You say that and like she pulls back and she goes. She just kind of like lets her hand swing off to the side and goes. You should tell your friends to dress more appropriately for such important meetings.
I tell literally everyone I meet every day.
I do believe I am interested. So, you bring the dead man's gang into my tunnels. My men and women take care of them, sparing the 3 of you, of course.
Of course.
And then you tell me what it is. From there, you are on your own for surviving, unless you think the whole dead man's gang is going to be assaulting my estate. That would be lovely.
I could only hope. But that would surprise the hell out of me.
And then I have my people waiting in ambush for this exchange. You think that Rufus Nash will go forward with his plan to ambush the ambassador and her militia guard, even without these weapons?
Hey, I talked my way into your living room, huh?
All right. You serve the remainder of the dead man's gang up to me on a silver platter for the ambassador's sake. And before I give my people the order to move, you tell me where it is.
Nah, that don't work for me. Because if your people don't move, you never get to know where it is.
She raises up her hands and she goes, I am a woman of my word. The quarry that they're planning to ambush has plenty of places for you to hide a message for one of my people. You write down the location of wherever it is. That information makes its way to me, and my people are given the green light. And we will be able to handle Rufus Nash. Won't we, Jimmy? She says to one of the guards standing off to the side who came in with her. And he goes, you bet it, ma'am. Three people of your skill should be able to find a way to extricate yourself from this situation, though I will, of course, give my people the order to spare you. I cannot make the same promise for the militia.
Yeah, see, that's sort of why I'm a little worried about, let me put it this way. I would like Rufus Nash and all of his gang to be dead and us safe before I hand over the last ace, if you understand.
But should the worst befall you during the shootout, then I never get the information I'm being given for my services.
Sort of behooves you to make sure we live then, huh?
I don't bend over backwards for people I don't know.
One of us could probably get away. But,
Speak up, dear. What do you propose?
well, one of us could get away from this exchange. Rufus doesn't want Kinsey anywhere near an ambassador,
But, excuse
for
me.
example. So we can come to a middle ground on that.
One of your people removes themselves, and that is the cue for my men and women to strike. And then upon the ambush's success, the spare third of your group gives me the information I'm looking for.
Yeah, it sounds agreeable to me.
I am willing to shake on the sole condition that you tell me which of you is the odd one out. Who doesn't know where or what? No, you said you all knew what, right? Who doesn't know where it is? I don't want you to send the one.
Oh, that's easy. Me.
You don't know?
Nah.
You can roll manipulate. This one I will give you a -2 on because, well, I guess Kinsey, you could roll blend to see if you can not give a -2 to roll.
Can I make an argument to avoid said penalty? Perhaps said roll. I don't possess the skills to find my way back to where we put it. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, that's not what she's asking. Because
Sure.
you're also obfuscating the fact that like Kinsey also doesn't know about the lockbox yet.
Sure.
Like he's like basically you have to convince her that you're not trying to hide something, and Kinsey is giving you a negative because Kinsey is bad at hiding that he's confused.
Can I use motivational speaker and have had that entire negotiation be an assist for Kinsey?
Yes.
Great.
Try.
That's your second use of motivational speaker. Yeah. Out of it until you rest again. But yeah.
On me.
So Kinsey, you're gonna roll a blend with.
Yeah, that's a +5 again.
You get a +5, Kinsey.
Feel free to like make your own luck or like twist the knife or anything.
What do you got, Kinsey?
And that's nothing.
You whiffed? You with a +5?
Mm-hmm. It was an 18 and a 16, and the +5 was an 11. I was going to twist the knife. I figured I'd at least get one, but no.
Can you make your own luck?
Not at this point, right? Before or after? Oh, sure. I'll make that luck.
What's your target number?
It's 11.
Okay, so you could succeed. You're up against a 9.
All right. That's a 10.
So that's one net success, right?
That's correct, yes.
She glances, like she looks at all three of you after you say that. She looks at all three of you and then like kind of zeroes in on you, Kinsey. And Roland, you see her kind of piecing together probably like what you mean. Not like fully. You don't think she grasps the full meaning, but you do like she seems to start being able to like putting together the dynamic here, right? She like sizes up Kinsey, sees like his like furs and like dusty like worn boots and everything, and she smiles at that, and she comes over to you, Kinsey, and she goes, "What? How tall are you, Kinsey? By the way, you're pretty tall, right?"
How tall did I say? I think I said I was about 6 feet tall. Yes, not pretty tall, but tall enough.
She comes over to you and looks you up and down and goes, "And what is your name?"
Ken.
Ken.
Mm-hmm.
She pats you on the chest, Ken, and kind of like brushes some like dirt off your lapel. And she goes, "Do be sure to stay safe during the gunfight, Ken."
I shall, just for you, Miss Gatty.
Misses. And she walks over to you, Roland.
Me about that before.
Walks over to you, Roland, and reaches out her hand. And she goes, "I think we have a deal."
Yeah, I think we do. And I will shake her hand. So good that she freezes.
You shook her hand. So you shake hands, and let me just think. The first part was right ambush, and then you tell her what it is. And she goes, "Which tunnel entrance did you find?"
Well, the one that seemed most advantageous was the one in the apartment building over by Laverne's shop.
All right. I will make sure my people are waiting for your arrival. How many strong are you going to be?
I would guess, if you want to include us, 6 or 7.
All right.
Although I suppose we could check and see if we've got any messages, right?
Yeah, I could get back to you on that.
If you're going to check the messages, she gestures to one of the guards. A guard comes over with like a piece of like a folded, like very nice stationery piece of paper with like, golden inlay. And she goes, "This is an LRC call sign you can reach me at. Or rather, one of my people. Give whatever information you can prior to the attack, time, location, if it changes, number of people, how well armed they are, anything you think that can give my people an edge. I'd prefer not to spill family blood in for such a petty cause."
Should we trap them?
I don't follow your meaning. We were going to be laying an ambush.
Oh, of course. Would it help you at all? I'd just put them at a disadvantageous position.
If you can sabotage them in some way without tipping your hand, I trust that you are capable enough to do such things. Then have at it. Just inform me whatever preparations you've made.
Just tell your people not to be surprised.
I don't need to tell the three of you that I would rather not have explosions in my property. Do I?
No. We're capable of being subtle. Please give us some credit.
All right. It can be hard to tell with drifters, especially ones as pedestrian as the three of you.
You're looking for rough around the edges.
That's not what I meant. And you have the paper that Jimmy handed you, and then he goes back to the wall, and she goes, "Cal," and the door opens up, and in walks Cal. "Yes, ma'am." "See our guests out, and have someone move that vase into my office." "Of course, ma'am. If you would," he gestures to the three of you.
Lead the way, Cal.
And as you're walking out, she says, "I do look forward to working with you. Hope you prove yourselves to be quite capable."
Oh, don't worry. We do good work.
And you are led out of the estate, out of the mansion, onto the grounds, back out to the gate. As you're walking, Cal says, "Did you enjoy your stay?"
Cal, it was lovely.
And that's where we'll end the session.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, God. Jesus.
You did it.
One of us did, yes.
You helped make it harder.
I have never rolled so many dice on the edge of a knife in a row before.
Yeah. That was well done. All of you can have a grit for surviving a potentially dangerous situation. Or for a specifically life-threatening situation.
And I'm back up to 12. Yay.
Nice.
Do you want to go through advanced
what other
triggers?
advanced triggers did you guys maybe get? So you guys were at what? You were at 5?
Yeah. I definitely...
6?
Or we were at 6.
Okay.
I definitely talked someone out of conflict with me.
Yep.
And then pushed my luck despite a clear chance of failure.
Yep. You made several counter offers.
That's me.
An open fight was avoided. through underhanded means.
Yeah, because you were lying to someone who is in charge of at least a decent portion of the Gati family.
And conspiracy is technically against the law. Did we get away with conspiracy?
You did robbery earlier.
Yeah, you
Did I?
pickpocketed people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, that's more illegal on manifest than
I get it. As like you do more and more robberies, you want to go for the higher degree of difficulty crime.
Yeah, that's all 4 for me.
Any extra for you, Kinsey?
Don't
I
think
guess
that,
there's no trap yet, but you've set up the chance for a trap to be utilized successfully.
somebody had to. A trap was not utilized successfully, and no animal parts were gathered in nature for free or sold. So.
Hey, where did Laverne get that flower?
No, it's not an animal part.
I don't know what the flora and fauna is on Manifest.
It was not one of the sentient flowers. All right. Cool. So that's what, 10 XP for you guys?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so
I believe that puts us at 8.
you guys level up. Nice. So you all get a grip for leveling up.
Aw.
Well, all right.
All right. So I know at least on Discord we got a couple questions. And if any of you who are watching want to post some questions in the chat, Addie is watching that, and we would be more than happy to chat with you. And it can be questions about this episode. It can be questions about Manifest. It can be questions about the world map that we posted. It can be questions about anything. So the Kickstarter exclusive Discord questions. We got one from K Grub that says, in the world of Manifest, is interplanetary space travel still possible? Are there moons or other planets in the system that might be accessible, or is that the stuff of campfire fairy tales? It is the stuff of campfire fairy tales. That the ability to break Atmo has been lost to time. Though people were pretty heavily spacefaring people prior to the departure 400 years ago. Anything you want to add, Eddie? This is stuff writing right now.
Yeah. The one thing is that while there are probably some people who don't believe that space flight was a thing, most people have, like, it's part of the history of the world. One of the cities is literally called Markham's Landing because that's where they landed the first time they landed on Manifest. So it is generally accepted that spaceflight is a thing.
Yep.
Haven't figured out how to do it.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, back in the old days, that's, not even the old days, just like, yeah.
The before times.
The before times.
Before times.
Before the departure.
There are 2 moons, right?
There are 2 moons on Manifest.
What are they called? What are their names?
That will be revealed at a later date.
1 and 2.
We are not willing to canonize the names of the moons at this time.
We don't have to make up
wait
saints.
and buy the book.
They're just moons. They're not saints, Tommy.
And let's see. Another question on the Discord is the world of Manifest outside the garden just desert insanity, or is there an ocean? So for those who saw the map, that is basically the whole planet. There's not like more off to the left and the right. Actually, the reason the Badlands is both on the left and the right is because it wraps around. If you walk off one side of that map, you walk in on the other. That does mean that the Wastes is basically makes up the south pole of the planet. So the largest body of water on Manifest is Lake Jacobson. That is on the map, kind of in the southern hemisphere of the planet. It is a large, toxic, deadly lake. Super large, very big. Kind of a little crazy that it's considered a lake, but technically it is because it's not an ocean. And like the wastes are full of hot, humid swampland, and there are plenty of smaller lakes and rivers, many of which are freshwater, throughout the garden. There's even plenty of creeks and underwater rivers throughout the Badlands. But yeah, no actual oceans on Manifest. Though I can't stress enough, Lake Jacobson is big.
And most of the wastes is swamp. So it is also water covered for the most part.
Yeah. Plenty of airboats down there.
Fun times down in the swamplands. Weird folk.
So those are the questions I have from the Discord. What do we got in the chat?
There aren't any in the chat right now. It looks like that's probably it for tonight. So a quick reminder to follow and get notifications. If you don't already, hit the little oh my. Ow. Hold on.
Just
sorry.
The battle.
Take it away.
What just happened?
My
did your iTunes just kick on?
Maybe my iTunes turned on. What is happening? Yowzer. Okay, it was
yourself.
iTunes.
I'll plug things. Okay,
that was good. Nuts. I was like, what happened? Anyway, don't forget to follow and get notifications. The heart and the bell up in the corner. Also, you can start subscribing to our channel the first week in December. There is GM Styles this Friday at 8 with me. And go check out the world map of Manifest, which you can find on our website and on Jared Blando's Twitter, which is at the Red Epic. And did we at least retweet that or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
cool.
You can go to or you can go to Manifest the RPG on Twitter or Manifest RPG on Twitter. Also, if you missed the art that we posted prior to the world map, we also shared a few peeks of the some of the beasts of Manifest. So that's one of our Kickstarter updates as well. The talented work of Crystal Sully. So I suggest if you haven't checked out our 2 most recent Kickstarter updates, you should check it out. It's pretty dope. They're great.
And thank you to Seth Lilly, who happens to be on stream with us, for our awesome theme song, Waypoint. He wrote that special for us, and we love that we can share it with you. Maybe we'll make that available in the future if you guys are interested. So comment. Also head over to BackerKit and grab your extras. This is the last week that they are available, so make sure you do that this week. BackerKit.com/manifesttherepg. And that's all I got.
Woo. All right. That's it. That ends the stream.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And we're going to play out with Waypoint by Seth Lilly. See ya.
Ah.